So, hello, welcome back to the channel. Just between Christmas and New Year, and this is a repair or an attempted repair, or the start of an attempted repair, to a gift that I bought my daughter for Christmas. Unfortunately, the window for returning the item has passed. Bought on Amazon. It wasn't expensive, but it was basically some LED lights. 2 lots, 15 meters in each roll. Little controller here. I do apologize. I started taking it apart and then thought, oh, I should be recording this. So plugged it in. They weren't working. Oh, that's all I made. So just to show you, there's the power supply plugged in over there. That's plugged in. Press the power button. Nothing. So started looking into it. Pop that back in there. This just pops open. It's just clipped together. Started looking into it, and the instruction said if they don't turn on, make sure that the indicator light on the power supply is illuminated, and it doesn't have an indicator light on it. So that was the first. So I've got the multimeter. Let's see if we can just quickly show this. Center positive. So center positive. 24 volts. So that's outputting voltage. Can you see that? Yes, I'm sure you can. Yeah, so 24 volts. So I know the power supply's not the fault. So I thought, let's have a look at this. So I plugged the power supply in, got the multimeter, put that back there. Where's the board gone? Touched the 2 probes. Oh, no voltage. Maybe it's a dry joint. So there's a little bit of bare copper that you can see. Touching the bare copper, nothing. So the issue appeared to be in this small length of cable. So is the cable broken? What? So I went under continuity, and I thought center pin is positive. Not that it matters for continuity which probe I use. That's touching. Hopefully you can hear that. I know my beep on my meter isn't that loud. Then I thought, okay, so if I touch the side wall, that should be the negative. Nothing. Right, so this isn't making contact with the outside of this for whatever reason. Poorly made. So just to prove a point, I got my bench power supply and I put 24 volts, well 22, because that's one of the presets rather than change it. I just thought 22 will do just for testing purposes. Turn the output on. There you go, working. And it comes with a remote control, so I can go orange, dark green, blue, and various I think it's got sound, and I think there's a sound thing on that as well, microphone. So it's this little, let me turn that off. So it's this little length of cable. So I've ordered a replacement. I've actually ordered a batch of male and female sockets and plugs. I think it's about 10 of each. Always handy to have lying about. And when they arrive, we'll put one on, clip it all back together and see if it works. It's going to be a few days for me, but it's going to be a few seconds for you. And what I am going to also say is that due to how poor this is, and the instructions are very Chinglish, I'm sure you know what I mean by that. I'm not overly confident with the quality of them, so I'm not going to install these in the daughter's bedroom. I have ordered another set, 30 meters long, that are Alexa compatible, because she's got an Alexa in her room, so she can voice operate it, etc. And we're going to install those, better quality, from a more of a recognizable brand. More expensive, but from the safety aspect, it's the way to go, in my opinion. I'm just seeing if I can repair these, just as a side note, just as a, you know, another repair video. I might install them in or around my workshop. I'm going to move that upstairs from the dining room into a spare room, because then at least I know that when they're not in use, I will remember to unplug them every time. But saying that, there's quite often I don't remember to unplug my soldering iron, so we never know. But we'll leave it at that. I'll be back probably in a couple of seconds for you, but in a couple of days for me to repair these, clip it back together, and see if we can get them working. So, yeah, see you shortly. So, welcome back. It's been a few days for me, probably only seconds for you. And I've got my new piece of cable, my little plug thing, that's going to replace this one. So let's just trim this down while my soldering iron heats up. Let's get approximately the same length. It doesn't really matter. Once the soldering iron heats up, I will tin those. And trim them down just slightly, because there's not holes there, so they're just sat on there. I don't think I'm going to be able to get that little grommet off, and if I did, I don't think it would fit on the new cable, but we'll give it a try. Let's see what my soldering iron is like. Yep, so that's 12 volt off. Oh, it did come off. Will it squash enough to go on to the new one? Slightly heavier gauge wire, you see. Will I go on? Almost. Is it going? I wonder if I can not cut it, but just grip it enough to pull it through. Not quite. Come on. It's almost there. Nope, I don't think that is going to. No, unfortunately not. So let's just Didn't that happen? Trim them down just slightly. Let's unplug them from here, and we'll move these out of the way for now. I could use a bit of heat shrink to make this black, but I don't think there's any need. Clean it up with a bit of isopropyl alcohol. Just get in between. There we go. Right. So, as me bring the lights back, line the arrows up. Let's get that out of the way. One power supply plugged in, and then we plug it into the mains. Yeah, all good, all working as it should have been from day one from the supplier, but typical low-cost Chinese production. I'm assuming they're from China, so I'll maybe jumping to conclusions there. The negative side, which is the outer surface of that plug, wasn't making contact, thus not powering the board. I'm sure if I'd squeezed it in, it may well have worked for a while, but it's not the best idea. So yeah, bought a pack of sockets and plugs, always handy to have, especially when I can use them on my bench power supply. What I tend to do, if I can find it, yeah, I've got one there, I can just connect it up, and the intention is to order a few different sizes of jack plugs, and then depending on what I'm working on, I can just crocodile them together, and just to show that it works, this is how I originally tested them. So there you go, all good. Using the bench power supply. So unplug them, there we go. So that's the one I keep just handy for that purpose. And now we've got a boatload more. So let's see if we can get this back together. Would it be worth sticking maybe a cable tie over the end of that, just so it doesn't pull through? I don't know, I don't think so. In fact, I'm going to go that way first. Plug these, make it a little bit easier, because this has little cutouts in the housing for those to slide into, which makes it easier, but not for there. go. It's a slightly thicker gauge than what was on it, so it's a little bit more persuasion, and hopefully this will clip together. Maybe not. Why is that not clipping together? Maybe it's just broken now. Can't see anything that would be stopping it. Sounds promising. Yep, just needed to be squeezed a little bit more tightly. And again, just to prove a point, let's plug them back in. There we go, and I can so I can make them change colour, change the brightness. That doesn't seem to want to turn off properly, but that is sound activated. I'm not sure where the remote's gone actually, but that should maybe not lined up properly or sufficiently. It should be. That should turn it on and off as well, that little button. So let's have a look and see why. If it does work. Let's try this again. How bizarre. Can't kind of get that bit wrong. Maybe I can. It's a little tiny. That's it. Now I will say that the back of this board is getting a little warm when it's turned on. So I might just have to keep an eye on that. As I say, these are not going to be used as they were originally intended. I've bought a different set that's a slightly better make, Alexa compatible, etc. So these, if this was just a fix to see if I could fix it. And I think you'll agree that I have and I can, or I can and I have. There we go, that's better. So that's the brightness. Switch the pattern. And then sound controlled. I think it'll do it to your voice as well. Yep, it will if I speak a little bit louder. and you can turn them off. So I'm sure we'll agree that that is another positive fix.